everyone. Welcome to the Mimosa Fridays podcast, a show where we share powerful life lessons and a few laughs as Gail empowers others as she sits at the intersection of people, purpose, and politics while sipping on mimosas. Now grab some orange juice and champagne and welcome your host, Gail Dudley.
I'm talking about an evaluation of yourself, an evaluation of your mission statement, evaluation of your vision statement. So you want to have your mission statement. A mission statement should be no more than 25 words. Then you want to have your vision statement that comes off of the mission statement that you have written. I've talked about this before. So the two questions, number one, the first question is, what is working? What is working for you? And question number two, what is not working? So those are your two main questions as the video show. What's working and what's not working? You have to be honest with yourself and answer those questions. If you see that you're not making any money, if you have a side hustle or a small business, or you're a freelance writer, you're a publisher, you're an author, you're a speaker, you're a coach, whatever it is, you're a counselor, you got to evaluate. If you have products that you're putting out there, you have to evaluate what is working, what's not working. You also need to look at your forecast. You have to look at the previous graphs, your previous graphs to see, okay, where do you stand? Where do you stand this time last year? And last year was kind of like a bust. So where do you stand this time from 2019? What was your third quarter? What was your second quarter? Because you're looking back just a little bit to see what was working well and what's not working well. All right, so number one, I'm going to give you 7 things. Number one, here's how you're going to evaluate things. Y'all can tell I love this too. Here's how you're going to evaluate things. Number one, you're going to think big and you're also going to be bold. So you're going to think big and you're also going to be bold. So you're going to dream. You're going to vision. You're going to dream. You're going to write it down. You're going to put it on a poster board. You're going to massage that thing in your mind. You're going to write in your journal. You're going to dream big. You're going to see what's out there and what's going on. Now, you're going to surround yourself with the right team. This is all a part of number one. You're going to surround yourself with the right team, the right mentors, the right connections. You're going to build relationships. And in building relationships, you are building strategies. And if I'm going too fast, don't hurt. This is a replay. You can come back and get this. And for everyone who is watching this as a replay, welcome to News in Motion. I've been wanting to say that for a long time, so there it is. So now you want to surround yourself with the right team. You don't want just yes people. You want people who are going to challenge you. All right, you want to build a public profile. Yes. Who or what do you want to be known for? Now, so often we think of business to business, but I want to change that. And I heard this coin somewhere else. I don't know who came up with it, but it's not me. But P2P, which is people to people, that builds your brand, that builds your business, that builds your network, that builds your connections. So you want to build a public profile. But when you're building that public profile, what does your website say? What does your social media platform say? Looking at all of those things, does it speak to who you are? Now, hear me, and I'll use me as an example. I'm the host, I'm the founder, I'm the visionary of News in Motion, but I also do other things. So I have to be very strategic when I'm rolling those things out. Well, we decided to make my website all pretty much surrounded by News in Motion and the podcast, which is now Mimosa Friday, which will start coming back out the week of my birthday. But it doesn't negate the fact that I still do coaching. I still do prayer. I still do Bible study workshops. I still do those things as well. But I have to be strategic in how I do it and how I roll it out. So you have to be mindful. So even the end of last month, I was writing down, okay, what's working? Well, News in Motion is working. It really is working. People are viewing it. People are seeing it. People are making comments. People are emailing us. It's working. But even within that, the fact that it's working, inside it, there's some things that are not working. And so we're starting to pick those things apart as to what's not working and what do we need to remove. Never be so attached to your business or your product that you're not willing to make some changes. When you find that you're so attached that you're not making any changes, that will be the place that you fail. And I'm not speaking failing on you. Don't hear that. I'm trying to get you to say, okay, this isn't working. All right, it's time to drop that and move on to something else. The hardest thing I did was to drop publishing. I don't want to do that no more. No. Now I can consult with you. I can do master classes, which I do around that, but I'm not publishing your book. Why? Well, when you have your pulse on what's happening in that, for me, for that arena, and there's self-publishers everywhere. There was a place and a time where self-publishers need a publishing house, a small boutique publishing house. Now everybody's doing it on their own. Churches are doing their own publishing. People are doing their own publishing. And Ingram is just out of sort because they did a buyout and people started leaving during COVID-19. But we're still in that. But during COVID-19, when everyone had to shut down. So things changed. So for me, it was like, this doesn't work for me anymore. I need to come out of this. I need to come out magazine. All right, daughter, here you go. I'm still a background partner, but here you go. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. And, even when people say, why are you giving that up? Because it's time to give it up. See, that's what we do. Sometimes we miss our exit because we're trying to people please and please what somebody else is wanting and asking of you. Seriously. I was thinking about this the other day, and a good friend of mine, love her dearly, we're like sisters. She was like, Gail, you should do something. You should do something. I was like, no, I'm not doing anything. I ain't doing it. And here's the thing. If I would have gone against being obedient to what God told me to do and be like, oh, my friend really wants this. She really thinks I should do this. Let me do this. And it's hard when you're like telling your friend, I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. But here's the thing. If I would have followed through and said, oh, let me just, my friend really wants this. Let me do this. If I would have done that, I would have lost all kinds of money. Why? Because the whole country was shut down. It was shut down. So it's amazing. Sometimes you don't see what's ahead of you, but that's where it's so important for you to be in the closet with Jesus, just you and him, having a conversation. So you're making sure you're lined up doing what God has called you to do and not based upon what somebody else may want you to do. And hear me, people may ask you to do things with no ill feelings or no harm at all. They want to lift you up. They want to support you. And it's all for good reasons. Yeah, we always sometimes focus on the negative, but let's look at the positive, all for good reasons. They just want you to do well and succeed well. But something on the inside of you is like, no, that's not it. I can't do that. So you have a decision to make. Are you going to be obedient or are you going to be disobedient? So there's that. Number 3, stop focusing on the wrong things. Work on your business, not in it. For example, with News in Motion, I work on it. I am doing some research. I am pulling the pieces. All the admin stuff and the technical stuff, the team is doing that. And why I am on this, hi, John Gore. And while I'm on this, y'all, no harm, but my team wants me to say this. They're here with me in the morning. They're here with me about 5:30, 6 a.m. in the morning. Yes, millennials up that early in the morning. They start leaving, like some of them have already, I can see 4 of them already now have tuned out, which I have 1 still on, just making sure things are running smoothly. Y'all, they go to a real job. They work a real job. Sometimes they're working at 6, 7, 8 p.m. at night. They check the email, the News in Motion with Gail at Gmail email, probably once or twice a week. So please be patient with them. They were sharing yesterday with me. Some of them were letting me know that there were some interesting emails. Listen, y'all, they work full-time jobs. They're doing this as a volunteer. They really are. Please be patient with them. I don't check those emails. I don't check them. They do that. That's the team. And maybe one day we can hire people and they can do that all day long. So please be patient with them. Please, please, please be patient with them. They will check them and they will respond as soon as they can. And don't forget, y'all, we had a 4-day weekend this past weekend. So some of them didn't even touch this. And here's the truth. All of them, I encouraged all of them that the day of the anniversary, now a couple of them stayed on through the end of the week, but the day of the anniversary, which was a Tuesday, I said, all right, y'all, I'll see y'all after the 4th of July. Go do you, because they volunteered. They've been giving me their time and their hours and their brain power for over a year. So I said, no, go do your thing. So y'all give them space. Let them do this. But now focus on your key activities in your business, which will move your business forward in a strategic way. Y'all get clarity on core activities. Get clarity on core activities. Get clarity. I'm going to say that again. Get clarity. Y'all, stop just getting an idea and running out to do it. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. Get the idea, massage the idea, Find a trusted person to share the idea with, or get a focus group and have them sign NDAs, that's non-disclosure agreement, to have the discussion. That says that they can't share it, they can't use it, they can't do anything. So y'all get those things done. Get those things done. You want to be the visionary and the leader of the work that you're doing. You don't want to be doing the work, because this is what's going to happen. You're going to get burned out. You're going to get burned out. Number 4, protect your boundaries. Don't allow anybody to stretch you too thin. Protect your boundaries. Number 5, establish key relationships and networks. Build and foster critical relationships. Yep, it's really about who you know. It is what it is. Number 6, evaluate. I'm back to those 2 questions. What's working and what is not working? What's working? What is not working? If you find that you're spending more money than making money, that's not working. Now, in the beginning, at a start, you do have an investment. You put an investment. You are always investing in yourself and your money. But at a certain point, and you have to determine, is this 3 months? Is it 6 months? Is it 9 months? Is it 12 months? Is it 3 years? Whatever that is. But if you are continuing to spend money, it's not going to work. I made a post on Medium yesterday, and here's the bottom line. If you take your hours, your labor hours, if you're taking your hours, the time you're spending, the time you have invested, and you break that apart and find out that you didn't make a dime on it, it's not working. It is not working. I know you don't want to hear this, but it's the truth. It's not working. If you find that your labor hours goes far beyond what you had forecast in the beginning, it's not working. It's not working. What is the value of what it is you're producing and putting out there? You have to put a value on yourself. Now, this is what y'all may not want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Listen, if you see yourself as a $20 an hour person, everyone else is going to see you probably about as a $2 hour person. If you see yourself as a $500 per hour person, people will begin to see you as maybe a 75 or 125. There's a difference. You have to command, you have to demand your worth and let people know this is my value. And don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to walk away. I'll say that again. Don't be afraid to walk away from what's not working. From what's not working. That's why it's so important not to become so attached to what it is that you do, that if you need to walk away, it's going to be difficult for you to do so. Don't be afraid to walk away. I told y'all from the beginning, if ever News in Motion became something that I dread to get up in the morning, it is time for me to walk away. I still jump up around 3:45, 4 o'clock a.m. ready to get to work with News in Motion. It makes my heart sing. There's a difference. Publishing, I needed to walk away from that. Been in it for over 20 years, but I was done with that. I needed to walk away from that. And I walked away. I needed to walk away from even working with my daughter on that. I walked away. So know what it is and where you are when you can walk away. And then number 6, change directions if you must. Change directions if you must. Some of you may be saying, but I don't know what that thing is. Spend time in quiet. Ask people. Get more than 1 or 2 people to speak into that. John Gore says everything has a time and a season. Man, that's so true. Let me put that up there. John, I missed you. Everything has a time and a season, y'all. Everything does. Everything. When my husband and I walked away from pastoring a church, people thought we were nuts. First of all, they thought we were nuts because we were planting our own church. Then all of a sudden, people thought we were nuts. Thank you, Oscar. Then people thought we were nuts when we decided to walk away. Well, God told us time was up. We have done more ministry-wise outside of 4 walls than we ever did every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Seriously. And we did this before the pandemic. So those of you who do experience the pandemic last year, we could have taught y'all all kinds of stuff because we gave that up. I'll never forget, I was on Temple Mount in Israel. And I heard God say, when you go home, tell your husband he has been released. I came home and gave him that word. Babe, God told me to tell you, we've been released. He got up from the table. I thought he was mad at me. I think I told y'all this story before. He comes back with his journal and says, when did God tell you that? When I told him it was in his journal, already written, he said, God, if this is you speaking, send word by my wife that I have been released. So you also have to be obedient. What if I would have came home and never told him that story or told him anything because of fear, thinking I ain't hear from God? No, that's God. Know when to walk away. Change directions if you must. Change directions if you must.
Catch Gail each weekday on News in Motion on Facebook Live at facebook.com/newsinmotion or her YouTube at youtube.com/Gail Dudley. You can also follow Gail on Instagram and Twitter at Gail Dudley and visit her website, www.gaildudley.com. Until next week, as Gail always signs off, stay well and remember to make some moves.